Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, good evening. I think
Hello.
now, yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Suresh Ulantana.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suresh.
Yes, sir.
Suresh. இது கரெக்டா இருக்க பாருங்க ஃபேஸ்.
Fine, sir.
இவரு
Fine, sir.
நம்ம ஆளுக்கு சூப்பர் கடைசியில் என்ன உள்ள விட மாட்டேன்ட்டீங்களப்பா. இதுதான் நல்லா இருக்கு இந்த ட்ரெயின்ல.
I think tomorrow.
ரொம்ப கிராஸா இருக்காது.
Fine, sir. Fine.
சுரேஷ்.
It's okay, sir. Fine.
கரெக்டா இருக்கா? ஓகே. இந்த டிஸ்டன்ஸ்ல இருக்கட்டுமா?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ஓகேங்க. இப்ப பாருங்க ரொம்ப பின்னாடி சாய்தா இல்ல கரெக்டா இருக்கா?
Fine, sir. Correct. Correct.
ஓகே. ஏன்னா நான் போன்ல வச்சிட்டு இருக்கறதுனால பிரச்சனையா இருக்கு.
Yes, yes.
நீல ஏதாச்சும்
most of them are there. Sir, even around 100 numbers.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. எல்லாரும் பரபரப்பா இருந்து கடைசியில் என்ன உள்ள விட மாட்டேங்கிறீங்களேப்பா.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
என்ன முருகேஷ்? என்ன சொன்னீங்க சுரேஷ்?
Sir, just intro, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, all. Today, I think the most sought topic. I can say that in my WhatsApp alone, I have received around 76 new applications for today's webinar. Couple counseling, couple relationship related presentation today by Professor Dr. Kadiravan sir. I hope you understand that the demand for the topic among the participants. So today with us, Professor Dr. Kadiravan is the Dean of Social Science, Head Department of Psychology, Periyar University, Salem. And he is my mentor, he is my role model. He is the person who accepted my invitation in the beginning itself. Now he is consented for a few more webinars also. Thank you, sir, for accepting the invitation. On behalf of the Department of Psychology, the American College, Madurai, I welcome the professor to take over the session. And I think he will, today's most of the couples, he will know the tricks for you to maintain a good relationship with your partner. Sir, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, friends. Actually, it's a pleasure and privilege to be here for this program on nurturing couple relationship. Actually, I was keep on trying to connect the meeting, but I got the message that already there are 100 participants in the meeting, so you can try later. I got shocked. Suresh, how you are conducting the program without me, or you organize some other resource person? And he said that, sir, wait, I will do the needful. So now you can understand how people are waiting for knowing about their own relationship or how to help the others, especially with regard to marital and family relationship. Actually, marriage is the most important institution where we are trying to find out the best partner. Always we are hoping for the best, but whether we are getting it or not, issues with any relationship. For example, today we are unable to tolerate anybody even for small incidents because our frustration tolerance goes wrong, or we have the hurry sickness, or we are not ready to accept the other fellow human being as the human being. Likewise, we have a number of challenges, and in this occasion, definitely I should congratulate Suresh for giving me such a beautiful topic, nurturing couple relationship. nurturing couple relationship. So I have my own question when Suresh has given the topic. So whether the relationship is already good or strained, and why we should nurture the relationship. That's also the question popping up in my mind, but whatsoever it may be. I have to address the gathering. Suresh, the PowerPoint is not visible.
1 minute.
And coming back to the nurturing couple relationship. And of course, in the Indian society, we believe that marriage is the powerful system. And you know, in the Western culture, they are talking about much on equalism or fundamental rights of each other, and they are ready to go to any extreme on the name of fundamental rights. But I am wondering why people are fighting like anything. And if at all you are just visiting the websites on relationship and all with the Western culture, the points are entirely different. But I feel that we have strong emotional tie-up in the relationship, especially the Indian context is concerned. So when we talk about the relationship, we should think of the important traits. What are the traits required for relationship, especially in the Indian context? Because we cannot compare our marital system with the Western system. Most of the time in Indian marital system, majority of the people, they go for arranged marriage type. And some of you would have been blessed with love marriages also. I'm not questioning that. It's up to you. And when we talk about the marriages, in India, we give most important value for marriages. We cannot deny the fact. And in the marital relationship, one more thing is, a boy and girl, they are joining together, and for 25 to 50 years, they are going to lead the life together. That's what I expected in the Indian customs and tradition. India is a country which is a value-based country. We have the tradition, we have the culture, we have the cultural heritage, and we are talking about promoting our cultural heritage and so on. But the most important thing is, due to our impatience and intolerance, we are unable to understand and accept the other partner in our life. That's the reason, or that might be one of the reasons. If you go to the divorce cases in India, especially Kerala stood #1 for the divorce cases. And #2 is Tamil Nadu. So I'm really wondering what kind of value nowadays we have for the marriage. Or as a psychologist, we have to explore what are the traits, the important traits which are required for any relationship. And man is the social animal. We cannot live without society. When we are in the society, we are always looking for some kind of intimacy. The intimacy either from the father or from the mother or from the husband or from the wife and so on. Even in the old age, we are longing for intimate relationship with the kids, our grandparents, or our own son or daughter. Likewise, being a social animal throughout our lifespan, we are longing for relationship. That's why Maslow has placed the third need, the most important predominant need, as the love and belongingness need. We want to be loved by the others. We want to love the others. That's the most important need. And in terms of this relationship, we have to think of the basic traits which are required for the effective relationship. Because when Suresh has given the topic, he has given the topic nurturing the relationship. So to nurture the relationship, some of the good qualities are definitely required. So what are the traits for effective relationship? So the effective traits are listed as #1, attachment. Attachment. So the Zen Buddhist says that you should have the compassionate attachment, and at the same time you should have the detachment in your attachment. But what kind of attachment you have, what kind of attachment style you are using with your spouse, what kind of attachment style you are using with your partner, that determines the effectiveness of your relationship. And #2, honesty. Honesty is the core value also. Everyone is looking a honest kind of relationship. For example, if you look at the Western culture, they have the different practices, and the divorce is a common phenomenon in the Western society. And at the same time, they have the long-term relationship also. For example, recently in the COVID-19 cases, if you watch the television, one lady at the age of 94 or 95, she's taking care of the husband, and she's emphasizing that my partner, I want to safeguard him. Likewise, she has expressed, and it was mentioned in the television also, I think from Italy. if I'm right. So, when I'm talking about the effective relationship, my mind pondered over on one important story. Actually, one Indian, he was living in London, and his name is, for example, Ramamurthy. Ramamurthy regularly used to go to the Krishna temple in London. And in the Krishna temple, normally on Sundays, they used to have a meeting about various life topics. And the Krishna temple in charge, the Pujari, okay, he asked Ramamurthy one day, what's special today? You are coming for Archana and all the other things. Pandit, this is my 25th wedding day, right? Wow, great. You are living with the same lady for 25 years. It's really great. So you should take a class for our people on one Sunday about how you are maintaining this long-lasting relationship. And the day came, Ramamurthy has started lecturing. And he said that, see, after immediately my marriage, I brought my wife from Chennai to London. I have provided the best food, best beverage. I have shown almost all the Western countries. I was trying to satisfy her to the core. And she was not satisfied with all those things. Finally, I did a marvelous thing. Everyone was astonished. What's the marvelous thing? See, finally, on the end of the first year of my marriage, I took her to Chennai. Okay? Only now, I'm going to take her back to London. That's the successful marital relationship. Okay, so our relationship should not be like that. I hope so. So the effective communication in the relationship is the third important factor, and the fourth factor is the trust and dependability. And above all, everyone is striving for respect. Everyone is looking for respect, especially in the marital relationship. We must have the mutual respect. Otherwise, there is no purpose of marriage at all. Because today almost both men and women are educated, the conditions are changing, the tradition is changing, and definitely with the economical empowerment and all, we are expecting mutual respect, but the mutual respect is the core of all the relationship. And if you take the supporting traits for the relationship, supporting relationship traits, the first one is, next slide, autonomy. The supporting trait is, first one is autonomy. Autonomy, definitely we are looking for autonomy. Even nowadays the kids, they are looking for autonomy. The 3 or 4-year-old kids, they are insisting that you should not disturb my privacy, you should not disturb my personal space. And the 8 or 10 years old children, you can see they don't show their gazettes to the parents because they are insisting that my autonomy, my privacy should be ensured. And we forget conveniently that even the life partner also expect the autonomy. The second one is patience. I already told that impatience is the most important quality due to which we are getting into so many problems. And the third one is adventure. If you have monotony in the relationship, after a couple of years, definitely we are getting bored. That's why the family counselors, they used to say that once in 7 years, you have to revisit your relationship. Like before 7 years, how you admire each other, how you feel the attraction with each other. Or you can go for the second honeymoon also after 7 years. After 14 years, you can go for the third honeymoon, but don't come with the baby. Already we are suffering with the overpopulation in the society. So likewise, you can go for the honeymoon also. So we are looking for the adventures. The adventure may be in any form, but it should be acceptable for both the partners. Then the passion for the relationship is more important. Otherwise, we feel that whether it's necessary to continue the relationship. Then the loyalty, of course, that's a core element. Caring. See, without care, nothing would be possible. In any relationship, we are expecting that care. In the adolescent counseling, I used to mention with the adolescent girls that just because of this care, you should not become an idiot. Somebody should not cheat you people. So you should be very, very careful and understand the care in the proper manner. Intimacy is the core element of the supporting relationship. Then the love, the unconditional acceptance. Then the fun. I have noticed with my practice, even I have insisted some of the couple too. They never see the fun. Fun means you did not go to the Charlie Chaplin film or some other video film and listen the fun and you have to laugh. Even there are small fun in the day-to-day activities and you should admire it, accept it and enjoy the fun. Then the above all, sexual emotional satisfaction, that is the most important component in the supporting relationship trait. What is the mindset for relationship? When you think of mindset for relationship, we must ready for compromises. Because the partner, we conveniently forget the reality that the partner is also another human being, another living organism who is having values, values, expectations, priorities, and other aspects. So we must ready to compromise majority of the things. Then be flexible in your approach. See, many people, they are trying to prove the superiority inside the home, inside the relationship. There comes the deterioration in the relationship. Then we must support our partner. See, there was a beautiful quote by Balakumaran, the popular novelist in Tamil. He used to mention that the woman always expects the men to protect herself from the fire. Many people used to misunderstood that protecting the woman from the fire has different meaning. But actually, it starts from the Ramayana. What happened in Ramayana? Actually, just because of the comments of many other people, Rama made Sita to enter into the fire. So the man has been admired or respected by the woman by the way of protecting her from the fire. Means you must have the trust on the woman, affection on the woman, care for the woman, protection for the woman, and at any cost he has to prove that I am here for you. Okay, so the sentence is not the simple sentence. In Tamil, he used to beautifully quoted that ஒரு ஆண் ஒரு பெண்ணை தீயிலிருந்து காக்கும் தன்மையாலே ஆணாக மதிக்கப்படுகிறான். A very beautiful and power-packed statement it is. So support your partner. That's the most important thing at any cost, and cultivate an optimistic outlook. Then focus only on solutions. In most of the hello friends, kindly mute your audio, otherwise I can't talk. Focus only on solutions. In many of the relationships, people are trying to exaggerate the situation, exaggerate the problem, and they keep on creating the troubles within the relation. Keep on creating the trouble in the relationship. So whenever and wherever you are, you should focus only on the solution. Einstein has beautifully quoted, you cannot solve your problem with the same mindset you have created it. So you should focus on the solution. When you focus on the solution, the shift in the mindset also required. Then you accept yourself wholeheartedly. First, you must accept yourself wholeheartedly. Only then you can accept the other person. Then accept all the imperfections. Remember, no one is perfect. No one is pure and perfect in this world. We should learn how to accept the imperfections. Don't forget the meaning of the word. Love is nothing but unconditional acceptance. Accepting you as what you are, not what I am expecting. So accept all the imperfections. That's what the right side of the slide says. All relationships are one law. Never make the one you love feel alone, especially when you are there. So the support is the most important. The care and support is the most important mindset required for the relationship. When we talk about the relationship, I want to definitely mention about the human brain functions. It is called, the brain is, according to the split brain theory by Sperry and all, the brain is divided into two hemispheres. One is the right hemisphere, next slide. One is the right hemisphere and the second one is the left hemisphere. And each hemisphere is specialized, next slide. Each hemisphere is specialized for different function. The right hemisphere is responsible for the non-verbal area. Actually, it contains information like music, images. Then it is responsible for drawing, construction, and the right hemisphere is responsible for voice tones. And at the same time, it's creative and intuitive. Then the right hemisphere is responsible for the spatial relationship. And the right hemisphere always help us to make the concrete picture too. Whereas the left hemisphere, which is responsible for spoken and written language, and it contains sequencing, word analysis, filling forms, numbers, letters, analytical, logical, and abstract thinking. So the right hemisphere is related with the things in the present, and whereas the left hemisphere is related to thinking about the things, thinking and things about the past and future. That's why when we talk about the hemispheric function, we used to emphasize that um, both the hemisphere functions are essential for the effective problem solving and effective living. The next slide. So let us take the female brain, because many women, they have the standard craving that my husband, my spouse didn't understand. He is not ready to understand. He is not listening to me. He is not communicating with me properly. Whereas the men, they have the common saying that, see, always she is talking what I can do. Always she is expecting this, and all. You can fill in the blanks. And all, how can I fulfill all those things? Likewise, they used to argue. That's why, based on the hemispheric functions, colloquially, we used to say that man is logical. Mostly man is logical and woman is emotional. But there are certain reasons behind that. Don't get angry on me. There are certain reasons behind that. If you look at the female brain, the corpus callosum is a little bit bigger for in the female brain, so that allows for communication between the right and left hemisphere, which is 20% larger in females, not in males. That's why in the kids you can see that the female kids, they used to talk very early than the male kids. The language acquisition is very quick for the female kids rather than the male kids. This allows them to use more oral vocabulary. Okay, and you know what you are doing. Then it absorbs more sensory data, hear and smell better. Female have the better hearing sensation and smell. Actually, I think there was a story which was mentioned by Leone in some of the debate. So it was mentioned that two ladies, they are sitting in the home and they are talking. The first lady said that, sister, okay, my husband is coming, I will go. Immediately the second lady got shocked. How did you know your husband is coming? From the bike sound only. Oh, you are highly capable of analyzing and registering the bike sound of the husband also. She was very happy and astonished. Then she said, the first lady said, no, except this idiot, nobody will drive the vehicle without leaving the clutch. From the sound I can understand. So the women are good in understanding their tonal memory. They are very good in tonal memory. So they have a better hearing sensation and smell. Even you could notice that from the smell, women can say that whether the salt is high or low in the food, whereas men, they find it a little bit difficult. They have to taste it. And the increased production of estrogen promotes sudden growth of hippocampus, the front part of the brain, which allows for better memory of names and faces in social situation and relationship. Actually, in WhatsApp only I read. You know why one person asked why women keep bindi, you know. Then the second person replied, I don't know. The first person again said, see, the bindi is like the red button in the tape recorder. Okay? It records everything, and when it is required, it will be recalled. Whereas men, you are incapable of. Okay? So, women, they can recall more number of names and faces in social situation and relationship. And men, the poor men, we know very well, we are unable to recall the names. We are unable to recall when did the particular event happen. Immediately, wife used to shout, say, don't you know this date also? On this 3rd Friday of 1983, etc., etc. She will fill in the blanks, and you never think of what happened in 1983 at all. Then the next slide. So the female brain, female brain are more verbal and more adept at multitasking. Most importantly, you could see the differences in the home. Actually, women, they're capable of doing many activities together. For example, just to think of not the COVID-19 lockdown days, the working days, when both men and women are working, and you can see the situation, see the scenario in the home. Women, they will keep their milk in the stove, and they will open the hot water tap inside the bathroom, and they will ask the elder one to go for bathing, and the younger one ask the younger one to eat, and simultaneously if the younger one is making mistakes, she will correct the mistake. Likewise, she will be multitasking. And if at all one day you are not well, you ask your husband to take care of the household activities, you can see Once if you kept the milk on the stove, the milk will be going out, the stove will be switched off, and you will get the gas smell. And if he has opened the hot water, and the hot water and cold water mixing together, and the hot water will be completely moving out of the bucket, and only cold water will remain. Linear progression, like one after the other. And the next one is the Eastern produces more emotions, which promote more immediate discussion and handling of problems. See, many of the studies, we are proudly claiming that man is good in problem solving. It's absolutely no. Women are very good in problem solving. Women are very good in problem solving. Just to go through the marks and ranks, etc. Women are dominating. But because of the male chauvinism, many of the women, they are unable to come up in their life. On the other hand, up to the degree of PG courses, women are the gold medalists, not our men. So they are good in problem solving, they are good at education. Then they need to move from specific and concrete in order to build up the conceptualization. So women are capable, the meaning is nothing but they are capable of generalizing so many things. Then work better in groups and in the darkened rooms. So even women are capable of working better in the groups. If at all you go to the industrial psychology, many of the studies prove that the women working in the garment industry and all, they are highly capable of producing more number of pieces than the men. We have the studies from the research aspect also. Then the male brain taking more information through spatial and abstract means. The male brain take more information through spatial and abstract means, and they'll be looking for evidence. They're looking for crystal clear evidence in everything. Then unable to successfully multitask. Already I told about that. Then during puberty, boys receive 5 to 7 daily surges of testosterone, which creates aggressiveness and stimulates abstract thinking. And when physically active, testosterone is produced, which increases competitive behavior. That's why we are expecting that in social psychology, we used to say that male are more aggressive. Male are more aggressive. Women are more emotional. Then that push down their emotion that will often fester from several hours to days. Then they will have more of a tendency to physically explode. That's why men immediately they are trying to slap the other person and so on. Don't think that women are not aggressive. Women are equally aggressive. Many of the social psychology studies prove that women are more aggressive than men. But it's the social expectation that men are aggressive. Then they plan a strategy to problem challenge often individually. Men, they don't prefer the group work, and they prefer to work independently. Of course, they hear a louder voice better than a softer one. Okay, that is why whenever you are talking to your spouse, you have to shout. You have to shout, and moreover, you have to repeat it again and again because they never listen you properly. Then they work better in a well-lit room. Otherwise, men, they prefer the systematized work. They prefer the systematized work. These are all the evidences from the brain research. Evidences from brain research. The initial work on the split brain starts with Sperry and later Torrance and Targer. Torrance, who is also called as the father of creativity, he has continued to work with the split brain, and there are so many work completed in the area of creativity, and nowadays we are talking about fostering creativity based on the brain functions and how to promote the couple relationship by promoting the hemispheric function. That's also the important research area, and the Western people, they are doing a lot of research in this area. Then, what are the principles of a successful marriage? If at all you are looking at the theoretical aspect, I'm not going to talk about the theory. There are many theories proposed about the marriage and intimate relationship. One of the popular theories by Gottman, he has mentioned about the 7 principles of a successful marriage. 7 important principles of a successful marriage. Number 1 is enhance love maps. Okay? The first principle is you must enhance the love map. See, which means couples should be intimately familiar with each other's world. Because they are from the different background, different family, different culture, and definitely in all the family, their daughters, they are treated as the queen, they are treated as the princess. But once if you are shifted to the other person's place, and you cannot expect all those comfort, all those cushion as you have enjoyed from your father's home or parents' home, and definitely we should understand, the couple should understand each other's world. Number one. Number two, nurture fondness and admiration. Nurture fondness and admiration. They should simply acknowledge and discuss the positive aspects of your spouse and of the marriage can strengthen a bond between couples. See, you know what happened with most of our marriages? In most of the marriages, we are trying to please the visitors, those who are coming for the marriage, and what comments they are making. That's why we are spending too much of money for the marriages too, especially for the food and other aspects, food, ornaments, and all the other things. But the most important thing is you should talk about the positive side of your spouse. That will enrich, that will strengthen the relationship rather than the negative. For example, again, it was in a debate. I heard this story. Actually, a husband was sitting to eat. Then there was the lengthy hair in the food. Okay, husband got irritated, annoyed. Okay, how can I take the food? And there are two ways of handling the relationship. You can shout on the face of the wife, and you can throw the plate, and you can spoil your mood and her mood, and you can spoil the entire day. But the intelligent husbands, how they will deal, you know. See, dear, if this hair is in your head, that looks much beautiful rather than it's in the plate. Okay, so you have conveyed what you want to convey, but at the same time, it strengthens your intimacy and the communication. So nurture fondness and admiration. The third one is turn toward each other instead of away, which means when a couple turns toward one another, it shows a basis of emotional connection, romance, passion, and a good sex. So good sex life. So turn toward each other. And you could notice that most of the time, after getting married, we are longing for, we are quoting about, see, you know, there was the guy who is asking me from London, who is asking from America, who is asking me from this, that, and all. That should not be the case. That should not be the case. Actually, I read this also from the WhatsApp, if I'm right. A marriage is like going to a hotel. From the menu card, we have ordered whatever we want to have. Later, we are looking at the neighbor's table and we felt that we would have ordered that. That should not be the case. That should not be the case. Then the fourth principle is let partners influence each other. Let partners influence each other means they should respect and share power and decision making. They should respect and share power and decision making, and they should solve solvable problems. They should solve solvable problems. Sometimes you may have the question: is there is any insolvable problem or unsolvable problem? Yeah, definitely it's there. There are certain unsolvable problems. Especially, you cannot change your spouse, father and mother according to your convenience. By the way of your behavior, you can you can admire them or you can get a good name, but you cannot completely satisfy them. So you should think about solving the solvable problem. There are certain problems which are resolvable and perpetual problems. Especially this perpetual problem, which talks about the life satisfaction also. And sometimes you may get the gridlock due to the perpetual problem. Like you may have a dream, and after a few years of life, you feel that there is no scope for fulfilling your dreams. There is no scope for fulfilling your vision. There comes the gridlock. Then they should create shared meaning. They can develop an atmosphere where partners feel encouraged to openly discuss their opinions and belief. That's what I used to say, that you must have the quality time with your partner. Then next, expressing how we can express the love to our partner. Okay, that's the most important thing. See, we read so many things, we are watching so many videos, but whether we are following it or not, that's a big problem for most of the men. Women, they are ready to express their love and affection. That's what many of the clients, they have shown. Whereas men, there are so many issues. And men, always we have the common issue that we have the financial commitment. I have the work responsibilities. I have the workload. But remember, we are working for the life, not at the cost of the life. Okay, so marriage and successful relationship is the part of your life, and without a meaningful life, okay, then you cannot get the satisfaction at the end of your life. So you must learn how to do the loving things. How to do the loving things. For example, even you can surprise your spouse by doing some of the activities. I need not explain all those things. You know how to do the better things for your spouse. So you can surprise the spouse with the loving activities. For example, during this COVID lockdown period, even if you are helping the wife in the household work, okay, that is the most lovable activity for your wife. Number two is remember the special occasion. Remember the special occasion. Already I told woman brain is very, very emotional and it can easily recall the birthday, wedding day and all the other days. Birthday, wedding day and all the other dates. But men, we are very poor in that aspect. We are definitely very poor in that aspect. Even sometimes we forget the wedding day also. So you can surprise your life partner by remembering the special and providing the special gifts too. Then take the unexpected romantic approach. Take the unexpected romantic approach. Especially with the romantic relationship, it was emphasized by the researchers that the monotony in the relationship definitely may lead to the termination of relationship. So once when you have the novelty in the romantic relationship, romantic approach, definitely you will have the long-lasting relationship.
Sir,
Then the listen attentively. You have to, yes, Veena?
sir, we are running out of time. We'll come back in the same link, sir. You can continue and we'll have the question and answer.
Okay. Again, I have to join.
Yes, sir.
Okay.